From dog tags to ownership, heroes take the lead. Stories of veterans building dreams with passion, drive, and speed. From service to success, we're here to inspire the quest. Dog tags to ownership, we're the best. Take the prize.
Welcome back to Dog Tags to Ownership, the podcast where we share the stories of military members, veterans, and military-connected entrepreneurs who have turned their dog tags into ownership.
Today, we're joined by Malyri Ryan, founder of Cheap Chic Finds. Malyri and her husband are veterans who have built a thriving community centered around affordable fashion, lifestyle, and authentic connection. What started as a passion for finding great deals has grown into a trusted brand that helps people look and feel their best without breaking the bank. Along the way, she's balanced entrepreneurship, family, military life, and staying true to herself.
In this episode, we talk about taking a leap of faith, building a personal brand rooted in authenticity, navigating the challenges of entrepreneurship, and why success comes from serving others before selling to them. Whether you're growing a business, transitioning from military service, or simply looking for inspiration to start your next chapter, this conversation is packed with practical advice and encouragement. So grab your notebook, your coffee, and let's dive into episode 31 with Malyri Ryan. Introduce our guest to the show, Malyri Ryan. Malyri is a U.S. Marine veteran and the founder and CEO of Cheap Chic Finds, an online platform and social media brand sharing affordable fashion, accessories, and lifestyle items. Malyri, welcome to the podcast, and thank you so much for joining us today to discuss your journey from dog tags ownership. How are you?
Good. I'm excited to chat.
Yes, we are really excited to have you on for two reasons. One, I think you're an amazing person, amazing mom, amazing human, Marine Corps veteran. Two, though, I think you are our first social media influencer to come on the podcast who has turned their brand into a business as well and has just continued to expand. So really looking forward to the conversation today. But before we get to all of that and what you do and what you're doing, can you first tell our listeners and followers a little bit about yourself and your military service?
Yeah. So I was in the Marine Corps. Everybody said I couldn't do it, so that's why I did it. I served from 2007 to 2013. I was in the reserves. I was a diesel mechanic. I went over to Iraq in 2009. And I don't know, that was fun. It was hot, but it was a good time. I mean, that's just like a snapshot. I got out because I wanted to be a mom and become Mrs. Ryan instead of Sergeant Ryan. We were kind of butting heads at home. But yeah, that's it in a quick nutshell.
So I know one thing you told me before is that I think Seth got out of the Marines and you went in the Marines. Is that right? Is that how it worked out?
Kind of, yeah. He was in the Marine Corps at first, then he switched over to become an Army Ranger. And so I give him a hard time because I outrank him and it's a better branch, no offense. But he did way cooler things than I did. Like, I was a diesel mechanic. He was on like the Jessica Minch mission. Like, he's done cool stuff.
You said you want to get out of the military, transition, want to be Miss Ryan, be a mom. How was your transition when you got out of the Marines?
I feel like it was pretty good. I'm like thinking back to that time. I'm like, it was kind of I would say it was like a rough time for me personally, but not anything as far as I would blame the military for. But I would say it's easier for me to transition because I was in the reserves. So I still had my normal life most of the time, but I did get to do quite a bit of active duty service. So I would say almost the best of both worlds. But yeah, I would say it wasn't too hard, really.
What were you doing on the civilian side when you transitioned out of the reserves? Did you have like a profession on the civilian side as well?
I worked at the bank. I was a teller at Chase Bank. Opposites. Girl job, boy job.
When you transitioned out from the reserves to be at home, be Mrs. Ryan, did you go back to being at the bank and being a teller?
I did for a little bit. And then my husband got a job in the oil fields and we were trying to start a family. We started kind of transitioning into me being like a stay-at-home mom. And I'm not a mom yet, but a stay-at-home wife to try and get that going.
I guess what got you into social media when you transitioned to be home? Is that what got you pivoted to go into the social media sphere?
Yeah, pretty much. There's quite a bit of time in between that. I started my blog and my page in 2017. So that was when we moved to Florida. We were originally from Oklahoma and then we moved to Florida.
How did you start your blog? What was your blog about?
Yeah, really. I felt like you kept seeing these bloggers sharing like $40 white t-shirts. And I grew up so poor, like clothes from Walmart. I was embarrassed. I didn't have Levi jeans. Like I was wearing Lee and like Jordache. And it's like, who wears that? And so but like I carried those things over. And then as an adult, it was like not embarrassing to me anymore to wear cheap clothes and to even wear stuff from garage sales. And so I thought I should share what I do. Like there's got to be someone out there who wants to see a $3 t-shirt from Walmart look just as cute as the $40 one. And so that has nothing to do with the Marine Corps
Or being a seller.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm also like, what do the guys in my unit think now? They're probably just like, yeah, Ryan, we knew. We should have known.
I gotta think though there's a lot of people out there that your message, your blog resonated with them because I mean, let's be honest, like the middle class and maybe lower middle class, those that don't make a ton of money are still interested, right? In like looking good, feeling good about their appearance and that sort of thing. So I got to think that not only did you have some people interested, but maybe you had a lot of people that were following your blog.
Yeah.
So when you started the blog, like how did you start the blog and how did you get it out there for people to see it and know what you were doing?
I literally just started posting. Like the day this is like a dumb story, but I was just suntanning outside and I thought of the name Cheap Chic Finds and it just popped in my head. I Googled it and no one had taken it. So I snatched up I made my website that day. I made my Instagram. I'm like the Facebook. I just snagged it all. And then because I love shopping and that's what I I had pictures to post. And so I started posting and that's what I did. I would say it was earlier in the game. Like, I think it's a little harder now to maybe grow, or that's what people say. And so it was a little earlier on, but it was before Walmart was cool. I'll say that.
So did you ever think that it was going to actually be like a revenue stream, or was this just something that was going to be a hobby or something that you enjoy doing anyway? So why not post about it?
I always thought it would be cool if, like, I kind of had a dream board and like goals that I thought would be neat. But it was really just, I love doing this and it's what I do anyways. So it really became it's just my lifestyle. And that's like when I would share in my story or share things like I'm going to Disney World, I'm making these recipes. Like I really just leaned into sharing my lifestyle in my story and then sharing my finds like on the posts.
And I think that's like the best way when it happens sort of like naturally, organically, whatever. And it's something that you already enjoy doing. So it doesn't really feel like work. Like I think what we try to get out of a lot of the folks that come on the podcast is the purpose, the why, and that it doesn't become a job. Like you don't want it to start to feel so much like a job, but you want to continue to enjoy the process.
Yes. And I feel like I've been doing it for so long that I've felt all of that. It felt like a job just a few years, like last year. It was like, oh, like, I know I should be grateful, but man, this is behind the curtain. It's so much, and I think that's a hard space too, because you don't want to sound ungrateful when you're living the dream job that everyone says they want to do. You don't want to sound ungrateful for it. There's a lot of glitz and glam, but there's a lot under that too, the reality of it all. But I wanted to say before I forget, to your point about what you want to share with or try to get out of your podcast. Like, I think that it's just important that if you're going to start something that's creative, it's really my advice from what I've gone through is it's really got to be something that is more of like what you do anyway. Like something that either you love doing, that's a hobby that you're already doing, and all you have to do is kind of like set up the camera and film yourself. That'll just make it feel like you're naturally going to be doing it, is my point. And you're going to keep doing it regardless of the numbers. And I think that's what's important to growing.
Totally agree.
Yeah. You had the idea, you went inside and you got the website and all that stuff. So had you ever like started a website? Like how did you do that? Like,
no, I love the creativity of stuff and just like making things. And so to me, I guess I kind of trust my gut on things, which I look back on my website now and I'm like, wow, that was ugly, but oh well, but I don't know. I just kind of, I'm trying to remember. I think that there's a few bloggers I liked. And so I tried to kind of tweak it to be similar, but not a copy. that's important, is to not copy. But I just went on Wix, man, and I just followed their little thing and changed the colors to pink and added some glitter and, zero Marine Corps anything.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't have like pink camouflage, like across the top with some glitter. No, that wasn't. That
I'm
wasn't.
either like all girl or all like Marine Corps, like green, matte black, like just
So like
Different crayon colors, essentially.
yes, stay in the zone.
yes.
Except add a little pink.
Did you like set up a LLC or anything, or you just set up the website, started blogging, started doing that?
Yeah,
I guess-
I just set it up. Started posting. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I
So
started going.
when did you start growing, and how did you grow?
It started growing, I think that about a year in, I think I had like 10,000 followers. And that was when it might have been 2 years. It's like, man, it all is a blur now. But either a year or 2 years in, I got my first collab, and they paid me $50 to get Thanksgiving food from Walmart and post about it. And I was like, we were all like freaking out. Like, I got $50 to get free Thanksgiving dinner for my family. So yeah, that was my
So with
first
that, okay, so I got to ask more about this collab. 'cause
Yeah, sorry.
I know nothing about collaborations, right? So it's your first collab. Walmart gives you $50. Go get the food. Did you have to like do a video like showing you shopping and then coming home and cooking it like with like stuff that you got from Walmart? Like how did you have to do that?
I think it was just a picture. I'm like, man, I could scroll back on my feed and try to see it. But I'm pretty sure it was just a picture, like just letting people know that they had this package dinner that you could kind of like pick up, and I think it fed like 4 or 6 people or something. It was more just like word, like spreading the word, like, hey, this is in the frozen food section or wherever it was.
So did you initiate that collaboration, or did Walmart, or how does that work?
It actually wasn't Walmart. It was I don't even know what you would call like a third party, like in between person, maybe some kind of marketing manager. I'm not sure, but he DM'd me on Instagram. And then from that, I got other collaborations for different brands at Walmart. It kind of snowballed from there.
Is Walmart like been your biggest collaborator since you started having collaborations with brands?
Yeah. And it's funny just coming full circle, because I'm like, man, teen Malyri was so embarrassed to wear Walmart clothes. It's just funny. Like, if I can see myself now, it's like, what? Like, I'm the biggest Walmart promoter, and everyone knows like me as like the Walmart fashion girl. So yeah, I do. It's slowed down a lot lately, and that's part to me and part to just like the roller coaster of this business. But that Walmart's my best one.
And when you do collabs with them, do you still blog?
I do a little. I've scaled back quite a bit just because now I'm a mom and my little boy just turned 3, and not that we're trying to go into all of those craziness, but I just kind of really taken a step back, realizing that this is what I want to do. Like, I'm not going to get these years back with him. And so the ability to like put my stuff a little bit on the back burner and still work has been really good. And oddly, I will say my page is actually doing way better than it did the past like 3 years, like numbers wise, which is wild.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think
Posting once a week.
Wow. Because you were posting like daily, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I think that's interesting what you just brought up is the dynamic of having a family now and wanting. So my son Atlas just turned 3 as well. I think for a lot of us I think most of us, right, that serve in the military, you are away for so long and do so many things. And then when you are able to be at home and do the things that you want to do is so important. And I've seen some of your stuff. So I know like you had a journey to be able to have a child similar to us. Matt and his wife had the same IVF journey. So we all feel those things and we all understand it. And it is having that ability to step back and do the things that are most important to you while still also providing for your family or doing your passion, the thing that you're doing with Cheap Chic Finds. I think is really important. I think that's really important for people to hear. You say that as an influencer is, hey, like, yeah, I've been doing this since 2017, but now I want to be there for my son. I want to be there for those moments because you only have those one time.
That's so true because you just kind of, and I'm sure you guys feel this a little bit as well, as it's never ending. Like there's never an end to the amount of content that you can put out there. And I would say doing a podcast where you're bringing on people that are sharing struggles and their story and like sharing things like that, like that's going to live on forever. Whereas I realized that like these Walmart clothes I'm sharing, like this is like a passing seasonal thing. Like it's not even the core of who I am. Or I struggle with that a little bit too, is like, man, I'm not just a super materialistic person, but it's just this kind of never ending hole that you can kind of find yourself.
I know it's been a journey for you as an influencer and what you're doing with Cheap Chic Finds. Could you just like share some of that journey and how being an influencer has just affected you?
Yeah, I would say it's obviously a massive blessing and it's really cool and it's fun. And there's a lot of highs of like glamorous things and events and parties and working with brands and making more money than you ever could in like a 9 to 5. And there's so many blessings. But it also, when I was at my height of working, my husband was over in Iraq as a contractor. And then, I was just at home. I had whatever I want. I literally worked like not 24/7, but I literally worked like all the time, all day. And it didn't affect anybody else. Like I could just be on my phone and it didn't matter. Or if I'd go hang out with my friends, make sure we get like the outfit picture, make sure we get a little picture of us together, like all the things. But now things are different. My husband is home. I have a little baby and I don't want him to always see me on my phone. And I don't want that. What I found myself after I had him, I found myself just feeling like I needed to keep up. And so something I've had to do to protect myself is just really put my blinders on. And so I really don't do a lot of scrolling because I just don't. And honestly, I've been that way the whole time. It's important to me to just share what I like, not what necessarily is going viral. But even now, it's like I put my blinders on and really just kind of do what I'm doing and try to follow my intuition and my creativity. But it becomes all consuming. And then you're chasing numbers, you're chasing money, you're chasing collabs, you're trying to find the newest finds before everyone else. Like it becomes consuming and I realize like this isn't the person I want to be. Like I don't want my son to see that and I don't want to be that. And so I think just taking a step back, and we talked about this a little bit before, you and I, but there was even a time where things were super political there for a while. We all remember. And even if you posted something that was good, but wasn't maybe the exact right thing that was being demanded, things were going south. And so that happened to me. I tried to do something that actually made an impact in my community. And I wasn't trying to, I don't know what all the technical terms people are saying these days, but I wasn't trying to like brag or show off. I was just trying to say like, hey, look, social media is social media, but you can also go like do something out in the community with actual people that maybe you work with or whatever. And so I did that and it just ended up backfiring. It was wild because it backfired online and I lost 800 followers from it. Maybe that doesn't sound like a lot, but that was a lot to me. But at my job, it was huge and it was accepted so well. And there's a lot of really good conversations. And I'm just like, man, it was a reality check. Like social media and real life were like not the same at that point in my time. But there's just a lot of highs and lows. And I hope I answered your question and didn't just go off on a rabbit trail.
No, you did. Yeah, you definitely,
Okay.
you answered my question. And
Okay.
I think that that's something, because there's a lot of people out there who are transitioning out of the military or out of the military and are like, oh, I want to go be an influencer. I want to do this or want to do that. But knowing the journey, it's not always what it looks like on social media. There
Yeah.
is like you said before we hit record, but there's behind the curtain side of that.
Oh, yeah.
Those highs and those lows of that journey. And it doesn't just go boom the moment in 2017 when you built the website and started social media and the blog and all that stuff. Over the past 9 years, you've had the highs and the lows to where you are today and
Yeah.
able to still have a lot of followers and still are able to get your content out there. And I hope for you at this point, it's back to some of that purpose, that passion that you might have lost a few years ago.
Yeah.
Through that journey.
When you and Julie were talking, I think both about sort of the professional side and then balancing the family side and having the quality time, which we never get right 100%.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about a book, and I think it was, I don't know the exact title, but it was about boundaries. And I think it was more about I think it was more about relationship boundaries, perhaps. I never finished it. But where am I going with this? I think that having boundaries, like you said, as far as like not doom scrolling on a cell phone or making sure that we're putting up blocks for our time, for our family, to make sure that when we're with them, it's quality time, right? It's not like, oh, I had dinner with my family and we all stared at our cell phones while we did it, right? But it's like all those things go away and we try to actually talk to each other while we're having dinner. But my point is just prioritizing family and trying to strike that balance with continuing your passion project, but again, having that quality time with loved ones.
Yeah. Well, I would say it's just similar to you either hear stories or your parents were this way where they just chase money. They were never around. And you see that and you think like, well, that's not what I want for my family. And I think social media is just the same. What are you chasing? Like, what are you actually chasing? Like, you're just chasing followers. You're just chasing numbers. Like, there's not some like magical necessarily. I mean, yeah, like you might get money and that obviously money does fix a lot of problems. But it also surfaces who you really are deep down, and that can be a problem. But I would say, like, if you're trying to build something online and you're trying to get a big community, you're trying to have a following, that you have to have a actual real reason deep down. And it has to bring value because nobody's just trying to follow you because you want to be a celebrity. Like, just because you want to be a celebrity doesn't mean everyone else sees that or wants to go with it. And so it's what are you bringing to the table that's value. And I think that's what's something that's going to keep you going, because it might take you 5 years to grow. And that's why a lot of people quit, too.
I think for your page, I will say that when I look at your page and what you're doing, it's all authentic. And something that a lot of people talked about, I'll just go back to Military Creator Con, is being authentic and being yourself. And that's where a lot of military members, we are that way, not using AI to build things, but it's being authentic and being ourselves and using the things that we use in our everyday life. And that's what you do. And that's what you can tell from your page is that authenticity that you bring to show people, hey, these are the things that I like, that I use, and maybe you can use those in your daily life.
Yeah.
So one thing I do want to bring up though,
yeah,
you have some big news. You were just at the National Social Media Award Show.
Yeah, I was.
And what did you win? What did you win? Drum roll.
I got Best Veteran Fashion Creator of the Year.
Right. So everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we have a celebrity on our podcast, Malyri Ryan. So
yeah,
awesome.
where's my crown?
I know, where is it? Did you end up going out there? I thought I saw a picture that you did go.
Yeah. Okay. I did. Travis called me the night before, literally probably 10 p.m. He was like, bro, you won. And I'm like, okay, I'm in Orlando with my friends. And we ended up deciding that I should go. It's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I flew out the next morning. Yeah.
So how was
cool.
it?
It was cool.
Yeah. Tell people a little bit about it. So like about the show. And so it's a online vote. I do know that.
Yeah. So it was an online vote. And there was a veteran category and then just a civilian category. I don't think they would call it that, but that's what we would call it. Veterans and civilians. And then for each thing. So I think there was like 3 or 4 different social media type people in that, like creators in each category. And so I won the veteran category. And then there was another girl that won the regular category. And so it was really cool too, because the award, they had like a regular award for the regular people. And then the military award was this like kind of OD green color. And then it had all the branches, like all their symbols, seals, whatever the symbols. And it was pretty cool. And so there was a lot of people and just a lot of things. And I met a couple other Marines there, which was exciting.
Where's the trophy at?
It's on my desk.
Yeah. All right. It's like, where's your Oscar?
So
I know it's on my desk. I could go get it.
So did you walk the red carpet? And if so, can you tell us what you were wearing?
Yeah, I did. I wore a dress from Amazon. I was a little nervous about it, but I was like, this is literally me. Like literally me is wearing Walmart to Hollywood red carpet event and just rocking it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I wore that. And then it was fun. The red carpet was fun. Just having like, it was a line of photographers and getting pictures and all of that. So it was cool.
I was hoping you would have worn a Walmart dress. That's what I was thinking.
I know. Well, they said it was, what is that called? It's not black tie, but
black tie.
Yeah. And so my Walmart dresses are more casual. So I had to go with like my fancy Amazon dress.
But yeah, is this the second year of that, the social media with veterans included?
This is the first year with veterans. I think it might be the second or third year they've done it, but I'm not, to be honest, not sure.
Okay. But this was the first year with veterans.
Yes.
So you are the first social media fashion award influencer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Crazy. It is cool.
Yeah.
My brain always wants to pick everything apart and like make it not as cool as it is. So right now I'm doing a lot of shutting up and I'm being
no, it's like, so, okay. So how many, there's like 5 in your category.
I think there's 3 or 4.
Yeah. I voted for you.
My husband didn't even vote for me.
Who did he vote for?
I didn't even know. Well, okay. I didn't, it's going to sound so annoying, but I posted about it once and I didn't like send out all the stuff to all my friends or my family. Like I didn't do a lot of work because I thought, A, I'm not going to win. B, I'm probably not going to go because we also had a vacation with friends already like booked. And so I just decided to not really pursue it. And then when they called me and said I won, I genuinely was like, I really did. What? Like I didn't even try. I didn't even try. That sounds annoying and I don't mean it that way, but.
So then obviously it's really cool that you are a big deal, that you got voted and you didn't even like advertise it or promote it or anything like that. So
you're sweet.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
It is cool, but
so all right. I'll get off of the national media or national social media work.
Yeah, thanks for embarrassing me.
You're welcome. But I think you deserved that. That was awesome. That was really cool. And for other people out there, that was a really great event. Thomas Long, he is one of the founders of it, and he's the one that brought in veterans to that show now. So, and our friend Ashley sang the national anthem and blew it out of the water, I heard. So hope to be there. I think we'll be there next year doing some media on the red carpet is the plan.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. We were supposed to be there this year, but there's just no way I could turn it.
Yeah.
But so, okay. So Malyri, that was a boundary because that was like the week of my retirement. There's just like no way.
Yeah. Okay. That's amazing though.
Yeah. Malyri, what would be, I guess, a piece of advice to a military member veteran who is transitioning or thinking about starting a business, starting something from the creative side that you would give them?
I really just think, honestly, it's being authentic. I think that trying to copy people, just doing what other people are doing or doing these videos where you're just copying everything that's viral and trying, I'm like, that's not it. I think authenticity is super important. And I think that if you can just remember that even if only 5 people like your video or listen to it or watch it, that doesn't affect the message and what people are listening to. And I'm a Christian, and so I go back to a lot of things like that. And even just when I first started my page, I kept getting excited for the little numbers. Like when my first thing got 10 likes, I was like freaking out about it. I'm like, that's 10 people. And I think you have to remember that the numbers are actually people, and it's a person who took an hour out of their day to listen to your podcast. And that's a big deal. And even if it's not 1,000 people, it's like remembering that, I would say.
Even if it's like 5 on YouTube that watch it.
Yes.
Not speaking specifically of our podcast, but maybe I am.
I mean, look, I think of Jesus, yes. But I think of like Jesus had like 12 followers, right? Like he had 12 people that went, I mean, I'm sure he had more, but the point is like, even then, like Jesus, when he was sitting there preaching to people at these things, like like hundreds of people. And that is a lot, but it's not a lot in the grand scheme. Obviously, none of us or Jesus are trying to attain to be as popular as Jesus is, but just that in the beginning, it wasn't a lot is the point. And he still just shared the message. And I think it's just sharing the message. And I think we get lost in the numbers is my point. You think that because only 5 people watched your video or only one person liked it, that means you're a loser. When in reality, if you had 5 people over to your house, like just for dinner, like that's quite a few people, like in a home. And I just think it's still an audience and it can get lost. But one of my biggest aha moments in my business was sitting at church, and I was upset because my story numbers dwindled down from 30,000 and they were like at 7,000 at the time. That's so annoying, I know, but hear me out. Then I looked around. They announced that we had like 350 people that morning. And I looked around and I'm like, this is 350 people. This is a ton of people. And I'm mad because only 7,000 people saw my story that day. And now it's dwindled even more where I probably about average like 1,500 people see my story. And I can see that through the lens of like 30,000 to 1,500 is massive drop and a little bit like depressing if you start overthinking it. But remembering how many people that really is, I think is important.
Yeah, I think that's super important too for people because it's more about you're sharing something to help somebody. I would assume that you set up Cheap Chic Finds, not only like to share how you were doing your fashion through Walmart and to help people who maybe lower income, didn't have a lot of money, but still like wanted to dress nicely. Is there a story from everything that you've done of someone who's like reached out to you and have said like, thank you, you helped me find these things or do this? And it's just been like that story that's stuck with you and kept you going somewhat?
Yes. There's 2 that come to mind, and I'll share like the one that I think is most impactful for me. But this lady messaged me and she said that her and her daughter had been butting heads with clothing for a long time. And she said that her daughter randomly found my page like on Instagram and then was showing it to her. And I think she had already been following me or something like that. And either it was her daughter, whatever. And she said that they literally bonded over looking at my page and picking out modest outfits for her. And I was like bawling my eyes out. Because I think that might have been like things were going well in my business, but it's like, man, that's a big deal, and that's really cool. And for me, that means more than getting like Walmart collab. That means more than I got to design a clothing collection for Walmart. Like that's cool. And I got this award and I got these things. But what's cooler to me is like literally impacting someone's life for the better. That's the real stuff,
Yeah. And so Matt and I always say that, we all wore the uniform to serve something bigger than ourselves. And that doesn't change when the uniform comes off.
No.
And for most of us, we're still looking to have that impact on people and to help them with whatever is going on in their life. And maybe a story like what you said to help that mother and that daughter, just bond over something and not fight over what she was going to wear to school the next day.
Yeah.
So I think that's super awesome. But I know we're getting to time here. So is there anything that we didn't ask you today that you want to share with our listeners and followers before we get to our last 2 questions of every episode?
Really, you just don't have to spend a lot of money to look cute. I think you can look just as cute as somebody who spent $100 and only spent like 40.
So do you have a book, podcast, some kind of recommendation for our audience that maybe has been impactful for you that you'd want to share or recommend that they listen to or read?
There's like a few. I was thinking though, 2 books that I really loved, and I read them a handful of years ago, so I need to like read them again. But I really have this one called The 7 Decisions by Andy Andrews. Ask me what it's about. I don't remember, but I just remember that while I was reading it, my mind was being blown by these just like simple things. And I feel like that's a really good self-help book. And then also The Big Leap, and I forget who wrote that one, but The Big Leap was another one that I really loved. And those were kind of more like entrepreneurial self-help type books that I really love.
Yeah, those are my favorites. Thanks.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's 2 great book recommendations that I don't think we've had before. So we'll have to put those out.
Yeah.
All right, Malyri, our last question of every episode. Admiral William McRaven authored the book, Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life and Maybe the World.
Yes.
So hold on, don't answer. Matt and I have to bet on whether or not you make your bed every day.
I'm saying no.
I'm going to say yes. I think you make it because I just think you do. But do you make your bed every day?
No. My drill instructor would be so upset right now.
I was giving it to you because you're the Marine and he got out as an Army person. I'm like, she's got more discipline than he does. I know she's the one doing it. No.
I did. I read that book and I did for a really long time. And then, yeah, I was like, screw all this entrepreneurial crap. I'm just going to live.
All right, I'll give it to you.
We don't have the exact numbers. I mean, that's probably a job Julie will give me that I probably won't do, but it would be like, how many of our guests have either said yes, that they make their bed, or no, they don't? But what I'll say is like, we've had tons of successful people on here, regardless of whether they do or do not make their bed. They tend to have good habits that jumpstart their day, right? Whether that's making bed or you have like the same morning routine that just kind of gets your mind right for the day. But I think that's a commonality with a lot of the folks that come on the podcast. We want to say thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been a lot of fun. Just and probably because you're an influencer, but it felt very natural. And thanks for sharing your journey with our audience members. I think it'll resonate with quite a few folks. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much. This was great.
What an incredible conversation with Malyri Ryan. Her journey is a reminder that entrepreneurship isn't about having all the answers. It's about showing up consistently, serving your community, and having the courage to build something that reflects who you are. If this episode inspired you, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who's ready to turn their own dog tags into ownership.
And now it's time for our Forces Brands USA Business of the Week. This week's featured business is Arrowhead Jerky Company, a veteran-owned business founded by military family members Mikhail and Stephanie after nearly 2 decades of military service. Their mission is simple: produce premium, small batch beef jerky made with American-raised beef, no added nitrates, and incredible flavor, while giving back to organizations that support veteran and first responder mental health. Every purchase fuels both your next adventure and a greater purpose. You can shop Arrowhead Jerky Company along with hundreds of other military, veteran, and military-connected businesses at Forces Brands USA, the only online marketplace built to help you with the Replace One Challenge. Replace one product, service, or podcast with a veteran-owned business.
Until next time, remember, the uniform may come off, but the mission never ends. We'll see you next week and keep pushing to turn your dog tags into ownership.
From dog tags to ownership, heroes take the lead. Stories of veterans building trains with passion, drive, and speed. From service to success, we're here to inspire the quest. Dog tags to ownership, we're the best. Take the pride.